Welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. We're back to doing Talking Tarot. This is the new schedule, so an hour earlier than we're used to for today. Um, and then we're doing 7 p.m. MST on Wednesdays and 7 a.m. MST on Fridays. So we'll try this out, see how people like it. And yeah. Hey, Lavina, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Yep, vacation was good. Still need to shave, still need to do other stuff, but yeah, good enough for now. Oh, I'm sorry. No problem. I realize this is only a little earlier, but yeah, the Wednesday and Friday streams should be more accessible as well. So. What happened? Um, right. So yeah, let me go ahead and highlight it. Okay. Um, well, so there's the change myself part of the question, which people are able to do. It's difficult for some, depending on the thing, but they can do it. But as far as making things better with everybody else at home, the familial relationships, um, you only have so much control over that. So, okay. So, sort of um, right. I guess, is it similar to bipolar, basically, um, where the mood can change rapidly? Okay. And I guess for the family, because right. Well, so as far as what's rough for the family, is it just the um, is it the down periods, just where it's negative, depressive? Is that just hard to deal with, or um, or is it just the whiplash? And I suppose it could be both. Cha, yeah. I'm working with Lavina right now. This might take a little while, but yeah, I can definitely do a reading for you. If you want to drop any particular details, go ahead. Um, but this one will take a little while. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, this doesn't. This seems like a Prisma question. Um, okay. Um, um, so, Cha, is this an online thing for now that you're referring to? So my nature. Okay. Um, okay. I'm going to mess that up. It's either Charmaine or Charmaine. um, okay. I think I've got enough information on that question if you want to duck out, because I'll need some time with Lavina. Because, yeah, how to approach this, that'll be tricky. Because we could try looking into your nature. Okay. We could try looking into your nature and understanding that. Maybe get solution. Um, so that'll help with how to proceed on that front. Because, I mean, you've basically identified the problem. Um, it's now understanding it well enough that we can really address it and not just put a band-aid on it or something like that. So, trying to think if there's a better way. Um, yeah, it doesn't make sense to ask about the relationships when, I mean, this is precursor to that. So, But yeah, really, you're interested in a solution because I mean, you've got a good idea of what it is. I mean, you've seen it in action, so it's really how to go about correcting this. And we don't want just a yes no. Will I ever be done with this sort of thing? Um, um, so yeah, to rephrase it, well, it'll be something like, "How can Lavina tame her nature?" With the end goal of being happier overall, particularly in relationships. But in short, how can you tame your nature? So I'll focus on that for now. Um, okay. And let me check. This might actually be a Lost Forest question because it's moved away from the relationships and more centered on you. So, yeah. Switch that. Yeah. Okay. And I guess just so you know, Cha, it takes me a while to sense the cards that are used and then put them in their place and then figure out what they mean and then talk through it. So if I'm quiet, that's what I'm doing. Um, it throws off people sometimes when I do that. Okay. Okay. Um, right. The first impression I'm getting is see a doctor. Um, so there's probably a physical aspect to this, but let me see if there's more now that we've got that. Because a lot of physical ailments can have a spiritual counterpart. This way. those aside. No, deeper down. Okay. Give me a bit. Darny, it'll take me a bit. I've got a reading after this as well. Who deals with therapy? Okay. 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 So we've got three things, albeit 4 cards. So we've got a tempered pair up here, so the primary, and then the secondary one moderating it behind, and then 2 other things as well. So 3 aspects for how to proceed. So starting up here, we've got Judgment, tempered by Page of Fire. I'm fine. Yeah, it's all good. Over here, we've got the Star. And over here, we've got 8 of Fire. Okay. Yes, and it'll take a little bit, but yeah, we can do that. And I'm doing well. And let me see if I can get something more specific. 8 of Fire, I'll have to double check, but this is the going's getting tough. And it's really just following through, plodding along in a sense. But I'll read that for you. Star, that's a strong symbol of hope. Am I getting more on that? No, it's really just having a vision of the end, the outcome. And being able to look at that, look to that as your guiding point. So, I guess a bit more concrete than a vague hope. Judgment. And then tempered by the Page of Fire. I want to say this one deals with creativity to an extent, new ventures. But then Judgment. I keep thinking of Justice when I see Judgment, so I'm going to have to read that one again. Oh, let me make sure I got them all. So, yeah. Okay, Cha, we'll do that as well when it gets to you. Let me go ahead and set this down. Pull out our cheat sheet, and then we'll talk to the other stuff as well. But so starting with Judgment. A calamity of fire clears away the old to pave way for new forests. Absolution or forgiveness, rebirth, crossroads. Those are the themes of Judgment. But then this is tempered by Page of Fire. A baby dragon emerges from its smoking nest. His mortal life ended, and his rebirth as fire spirit just begun. Unlimited potential, inspiration, discovery. Okay. And then tempered with the Judgment, absolution, rebirth, crossroads. Okay. Yeah, so the sense I'm getting with Judgment, particularly paired with the Page of Fire, like there's going to be a need to ask for forgiveness. You're going to make mistakes. Stuff's going to go wrong, and there will be apologies and making amends. But being tempered by the Page of Fire, we don't want you to close off or bottle yourself up, stuff like that. The Page of Fire is saying you still need to try new things, experiment, essentially, as you're working through this. So there's going to be lots of apologies, but in a way, you still need to press on, one step at a time, so to speak. It's reminding me of Edison and the light bulb, how when they ask him about it, it's I didn't fail 2,000 times. I found 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So as far as your journey to recovery, egoistic to apologize. Does that mean it's tough for your ego to apologize? I'm going to go ahead and read the 8 of Fire, because that's what I need. Fast movement, change, alignment. Landscape cleansed, long dormant seeds begin to take root. Okay. Well, I mean, there it's saying you're going to need to do it. And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say often, but the Page of Fire says you need to keep trying things as well. So it's going to become a more common thing. So I realize it's uncomfortable now. But it'll be something you're going to need to get used to, because it's going to come up a lot. So there's that. There's the star. We talked on that. I don't need to read that. You just need to have a vision. Okay. I realize there's that cycle going on, but you're trying to get better. So I don't know what else to do on top of that, but be sincere. And yeah, I mean, you're not guaranteed to be forgiven. I didn't get that in the judgment card. I know there was the hint of absolution, but really it's apologizing was the main thing. So be sincere. They might not forgive you, but that's what needs to happen. As far as the star goes, whether you need to write it down or draw it out, however you want to create that vision of the end of overcoming this, that needs to happen so that you have something to go back to, so that you have something to focus on and help you point you on your way. And then 8 of Fire. Let me get on this. Yeah, the sense I'm getting from this is that you're going to be trying a lot of things in a relatively short period of time. So similar to the Page of Fire and the experimenting, but time-wise, it happens relatively fast. So as far as when you're planning your experiments, I know. As far as when you're planning your experiments, don't plan them for like months or something like that. The timeline your experiments should be taking is days, maybe weeks. But this is something you're basically going to iterate on a lot, rather fast. So that's, again, that was the spiritual half. We talked about Doctor, and I can totally understand not wanting to be medicated for life, and frankly, I'm against that too. I mean, you've got a body. Even if it's out of whack, you should be able to rebalance it. So I'd probably still recommend seeing someone, whether that's counselor, a therapist, and that's fine. Because they might be able to help you with just some tough topics and working through that. I do like the idea of a doctor because sometimes, yeah, there is a chemical imbalance and it can help. But if you're concerned or culturally you think that would be unwise, then by all means, keep with the counselor or therapist option. But you do need something on the other half of this. So, okay. That was Lavina, and there's a number of people. So let me go over our list. We've got Cha. on love and marriage after Cha. Or let me go ahead and highlight yours. There was this, and then there's also marriage. That was just in a different one. Okay. Excellent. Okay. We've got Cha now. After Cha, we've got Darnie, and then Anmok. And then Hope just popped in. So let me go ahead and type these so I can follow up faster. Cha, Darnie, and Hope. And then there was also the question about marriage. So will the relationship go further, and then will we tie the knot in the end? We go to the next stage, and then the stage after that. Okay, definitely a Destiny deck question. Gotta keep these together. And Darnie, I don't know what your time is. We'll answer the question. If you need to go, that's fine. You can watch it on the video later, if that's more convenient. I realize we don't get to have a back and forth like I did with Lubina, but sometimes that's just what works for people. Set that aside. So I'm going to answer Cha's. I was just letting you know if this is taking too long. You can just come back for the video after the fact. So let's get that there. And then let's focus on Cha. Oh yeah, Hope. I remember getting this question. Yes, I did have a good vacation. Yeah. Well, it's your turn, Cha. I'm answering yours. I'm just responding verbally to some of this stuff. Okay. Also, based on the cards, it looks like we got yes, no spread. both parts. Let me go ahead and show this. I just need to make sure I know which one is answering which question. But it's the combination together that is yes or no, or it takes some time. But yeah. Are we getting any extra? Let me get our camera back online. Sorry. We want to see cards, not my fingers. So we've got 2 yes/no questions, basically. And let's get this big. There we go. Okay, hey Sunlight. So this one's going to speak to progression to boyfriend. This combination of 3, and then this combination speaks to marriage. I'm not sure. I feel like we're probably going to flip this. But anyways, we've got some extra detail in these 2 and some extra detail in this one. It's not huge or anything, but it's apparently informative. I don't know in what way yet. So we've got strength, we've got the Emperor, and we've got the Magician. So lots of major arcana. But yeah, so all of these are yes cards. So yes, there would be the progression to boyfriend with this person. And then as far as the details, we've got Emperor, Magician. So the Magician, yeah, this is speaking to both of you. It's the ability to manifest and make things a reality. Emperor, so that's speaking to, yeah, that's speaking to him. So the Emperor is the male archetype, order in a sense. I mean, the notes here are control and security. It's not necessarily bad. There's just the fear on the negative side of becoming a tyrant, but I don't see any reason to doubt this has a benevolent ruler for now. So that's just a note on his character and maybe how to proceed forward with him. Yeah. Just keep in mind that when you're moving the relationship forward. As far as marriage, we've got Wheel of Fortune. That's an auspicious yes. Page of Cups. I'll have to double check that. And then 7 of Cups. Cups. So the 7 is a no, but the page is a yes. So that this falls into two yeses and a no, which is yes, but it'll take time. So I don't know if that means it'll be a long courtship or if you guys are going to go on and off. The note we got here was the Seven of Cups, and the thing about the seven, the thing that makes it a no, the cups indicate possibilities, potential. The issue is some are fake, some are fictitious, and so the notes there are confusion, opportunity. Like, there are good things out there, but it's hard to distinguish them. You will be your boyfriend. From here, I'm getting the yes, but it would take time. So assuming you both go in on the magician, I assume it can happen if you both want it. I just don't know how the Seven of Cups is going to show up. And most likely this is someone who, well, sees opportunities in other people as well. So I don't know if it'll take either you or him a while to settle down on the other being the one. Because that's what's slowing this down as far as I can tell. But yeah, I mean, you've both got the magician. It's really just how to work through the Seven of Cups, and that's time. I mean, you can, yeah, being pushy isn't great, but that can help expedite it a bit. But it can also, it could backfire and then take longer, so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how else to deal with the Seven of Cups other than just being there, being constant. And if you can keep up a constant connection, it doesn't have to be frequent. It doesn't have to be daily, but you do want some sort of constant connection. Echoing. Sorry if there's an echo then. Let me actually listen. See if I can pick up on it. Because the phone does emit audio, and that's why I have the headphones plugged in, because otherwise we get a nasty feedback loop. I'm not really hearing an echo though, so. Let me take that out, otherwise the delay starts bothering me when I'm speaking and then I hear my own echo. But did that make sense, Cha? So it looks like yes, definitely on the boyfriend. I mean, and assuming you both want it to happen, that's a sure thing. As far as marriage, though, it seems like that'll take time. And yeah, just consistency is probably going to be the best thing for working through the Seven of Cups. Go ahead and set this down. I want to make sure Cha's good though before we get too far. What do you mean by want to make sure? Yeah, so when I was asking the question, it was for the same person. Did that clarify, or okay? Just wanted to make sure. Darnie, I believe you're up. Let me find. I'm waiting. Yeah, just working through that Seven of Cups. It'll be trying, just because when somebody's not settled, it can be hard to be faithful. But yeah, it'll just take time. So. Darny. Um, is that supposed to be nuclear family? I'm just not familiar with that. I don't know if it's a misspelling or a word I'm not familiar with. What? Give me one sec. An extended family together as a single household. No problem, Cha. Glad it helped. But Darny. So just to make sure I'm understanding right, well, you're living with your family right now, and you want to be, well, with your own family, and you're wondering when that'll happen. Is that correct? Okay. What is this? Destin. Okay. Good enough. Okay. And we're really interested in timeline. When is that happening? Specific timelines are generally hard for me with tarot. If I get something specific, I'll let you know. I mean, sometimes I've got a sense for it, like when we were speaking with Lavina, like weeks and days versus months and years. I know for someone, it was like a year plus or minus a semester, I think it was. Basically the end of the next year. So if I can get it that specific, I'll let you know. But that's roughly what I get. Okay. Um, okay. I'll have to flip to get some more, but we've got a rough timeline. So this represents where you are right now. You're probably a little more to the right, but um, this is the present in the time. There's going to be this event and this event. I didn't necessarily get the sense of milestones, so one of these might actually be the end goal that we're speaking to. Nine of Pentacles, so notes there are prosperity, comfort. Financially, you're doing very well. Um, so that's one. And then here we've got the Hierophant, tradition, knowledge, tempered by the Magician, which is the ability to manifest. And give me 1 sec to make sure. Well, I'll spread this so that you can see it. But so this is a tempered pair. This is the primary card. This is the main message, but then it's moderated, tempered by this secondary card. So yeah, from what I'm getting here, you reach a point of doing well financially. Like you're very well off. There's just this period of basically dating, meeting people until you finally meet the one. The sense I'm getting from the Hierophant is you're entering the tradition of marriage. Um, so that would be your end goal. This is tempered by the Magician and the ability to make things happen. So let me. I feel like that's speaking more to your spouse at that point. Yeah. She wants to be married and have a family. So, which makes sense. You guys, well, are getting married. But that's probably a bit of an indicator of who that person is. Yeah. So, searching here, financially well off. You could, I guess, use this as sort of a halfway point. I think this might be a tad farther out than from here to there, but yeah. Yeah, so I don't really have a date or a time frame. But once you hit this point, you're about halfway through. Yeah, I'm guessing the women you meet here aren't necessarily interested in a traditional family, which is why it'll take a little longer, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. Darny, any questions on that? That's what we got. I don't know that I can really do any better as far as like specifically when. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. Um, I guess I'll try to sum up quiet quickly. So, timeline. You're here. This is about halfway, and you're doing well financially. Uh, you're not necessarily a millionaire or anything, but you don't really have financial concerns. This is your halfway point to marriage. And your partner is someone who's interested in having a family, having a traditional family. Did that help? Was that clearer? Oh, well then, there's the financial thing. As far as interpreting this, yeah, I got the sense of marriage, so would that be your partner pushing that? Not exactly. Uh, yeah, then I'm having a hard time reading the Hierophant. Um, I mean, you've still got the midpoint of financially well. Yeah, I don't know what the Hierophant would look like then. I mean, I'll focus on it, see if I can get something more specific. I still feel like the Magician is your partner. I don't know, maybe it's a Indian tradition I'm just not familiar with. Yeah, that's something I just don't have enough knowledge to speak to at that point. Because yeah, the Magician, that touches on your wife, so I don't know whether it's something culturally or just a family tradition that I'm not sure about. Okay. Right. I mean, that makes sense. Um, Here, let me read up on the Hierophant, see if I can get something from that. But self-realization, higher learning, and expansion. Messenger from the year, the Hierophant, very experienced in his inner knowing, and brings the message that it is time to develop emotionally and spiritually. He is a symbol of education. When this card is revealed, we are told to find a higher path through learning. This card offers wise counsel and often represents institutions, traditional values, and directions. As a spiritual leaders. Yeah, the only thing standing out there is institutions, traditional values, and direction. I mean, earlier there was the expansion, which makes sense. You're going to your own place, so you're filling that up. But yeah, as far as the trigger, the inciting event, and whatnot, that gets that. Yeah, I don't know if there's a property that gets handed out or if there will be a government program or something that you guys take advantage of somehow. I just don't have enough information for how that one plays out at that point. Your spouse has a part in making that happen, and this is after you guys are financially well-to-do, but okay. Speaking to Hope, and Mock is next after Darnie. But then it's you. Darnie, it sounds like your real question is about the other person and what to do about that. But that's different from moving and owning your own place. So I'm inclined to treat that separately. And in that case, I think I would answer Anne's question and then Hope's question. But if you're okay with that, I can come back and try reading on what to do about the person. We might. I mean, we're getting into our second hour, and I'm going to try keeping it at 2, Lavina. I was wondering where you were that day, actually. But, okay. I'll add you to that. And maybe you don't know what to do about the Hierophant, and given that's in the future, I'm not too worried about puzzling it out. Figuring out the relationship seems the more important thing. So, oh, was there a connection issue? Because I streamed for like 6 hours that day. Okay. I guess if it happens again, take screenshots or something, but... yeah. Okay. So we'll come back for Darnie's other question. And Mock. Let's find yours. Oh, sorry. I need to add sunlight to the list as well. And that would be right here. Sorry about that. Sunlight would be after hope. Okay. Okay. We have lists. And back to Anne. And there was follow-up on that, what they think, feel, intention, what they will do whenever you can. Okay, well, if I have time, I'll have it on the video. But I guess as far as answering that, for you, the question was figuring out, working through the bridge and figuring out the real motivator underneath for the interest in tarot and whatnot. So I guess if we figure that out, then we can do that again. I mean, you might already have the answer technically, but Anne Mock changed her question. And we're asking about AS. What they think, feel, intentions, whatever we can get about them. Okay. Well, let's charge that up. Okay. So basically reading in the context of a potential. Okay. Still Destiny. Okay. Okay, well, if it's not on the video, then we can do it Friday. Yeah. So one way or another, we'll get to it. Yes, with respect to okay. Anything else in here? No. No. So what's off? Um, okay. Don't know why I would do it like that, but okay. So we've got the person here. This is a foundational influence in their life. This is stuff you're not going to get out of them, in a sense. It's in their grain, so to speak. This is also an influence in their life. It's enduring for now. Um, this isn't like perpetual as far as I can tell. At some point this would go away, but I have no clue when or if that would be anytime soon. This is how they think about you. So it's not how they view you. It's not necessarily intentions or feelings. Um, but this is the thoughts. For some reason, this card specifically is reversed, which I don't know why it likes doing it with this deck, because it doesn't have reversed meanings with the guy, but oh well. This is moderately tempered, so by this card. So this card has a moderating effect. Not super strong, but it's not negligible either. It's not a light touch. But anyways, getting into the cards for them, we've got 9 of Swords, anxiety, and worry. So, wow. We'll dig into that if we need to. On their foundation, we've got Page of Pentacles, which is visionary and good news. Up here for this influence, there's justice, so balance, truth. This is a very karmic card. But as far as thinking towards you, and this one is reversed. So 3 of Pentacles, the Architect, and success. That's what it would normally be. This is, yeah. Let me look at some other guides for reversed, because that's not the norm for me. But this is moderated somewhat by 5 of Wands, which is competition debates. So yeah, that's almost more just talk about you. But let me get the reversed 3 of Architect. I need to figure that out. Because that's probably the most important thing here, what they're thinking of you. And I guess if that's okay, then we'll go back to him. But assuming it's a him, pardon. Um, let's take a look at Prisma. So this would be Pentacles. And we want the reversed. Doing the wrong thing, reluctance, stepping back. Once you've settled into a project, it's gratifying to see its early results. But when the first milestone isn't what you expect it to be, an inverted Three of Pentacles can be an indication you're on the wrong track. If you're finding resistance through your own reluctance or other people's obstructions, your gifts may be put to more efficacious uses. This can mean reducing your involvement and stepping away from a project. It's not failure, but simply reassessing your resources and diverting them to where they really need to go. So that's one version. Let's get this one. This would be trees. Non-committal, uninterested, unwilling to grow. Upside down, fights against gravity for a chance to grow. The stalks of the trees are being pulled away from the ground. This card speaks to being non-committal and unwilling to grow. Perhaps you are only putting half the work in because your interests and investments lie elsewhere. If this is the case, then look for a different project to put your time into. If you don't attempt to be the best at what you do, what is the point of doing it at all? So, and then I've got one more, but I think we basically got the gist. They're not planning to pursue you. Is the main thing. Working by oneself, disharmony, misalignment. Yeah, they're not planning to pursue this at all. So. Yeah, don't know that you care about any of the other cards, but they're not going to pursue you. So if you want details on those, let me know, but I'm inclined to skip that. Yeah. Okay, so that was Anne. We've got Hope next. And this was Progress in Health by next month. I think last time you asked about by the end of the year. And I guess when you say by next month, are you referring to what, 10 days from now? Not even that. 7, 8 days from now? Basically a week. Just want to clarify the timeline, Hope. Right. Okay. Month time frame will I see any progress? Yeah, we don't need to switch. And yeah, we'll just keep it like this. they close? And why are they... Okay. I'm gonna need to flip cards, but because yeah, we got a yes/no spread, but you'll notice I have an extra card. I think these have some extra information, albeit a little. But this one, it feels like it's tempering this card's effect in the yes/no. It's not necessarily a detail, so yeah, I'll have to flip in order to understand how that works. So we got that 3 of Pentacles, right side up this time, so that's almost certainly a yes. We got 7 of Wands, and I should pull the reading up, or just put it up, because this one will be interesting, but we'll focus that for now. Okay, so 7 of Wands is an exception. 3 of Pentacles, yeah, that's a yes. But then getting into here, we've got 8 of Wands, which would be a yes. And then the card tempering this is 5 of Wands, which we saw earlier. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, both the 5 and the 7, those are the same exception. The answer is yes, but you must fight for it. And the other ones are yeses. As far as getting extra information from them, the 8 doesn't have anything to speak to. The 7 of Wands, courage, challenges. I don't know if you need to take on a little more than you're comfortable with, right? Yeah, that's what that is. Take on a little more than what you're comfortable with. 3 of Pentacles, that's planning. Yeah. It doesn't need to be rigid per se, but you do need to have a plan. And then the 5, the focus I'm getting from that is competition, which would basically mean you're involving other people. I don't know that it's necessarily sports. I mean, I've got some family with the Apple Watches, and I know there's some sort of competition thing there. Just as far as you doing your individual workouts. So it could be something like that. I doubt that's what it is for you. But yeah, basically there's some sort of social aspect as well that's helping to push you to do stuff. So the answer is yes. Still need to fight for it. That came through pretty heavy. But yeah, I mean, you know what to do. And we've talked on the different points. And they were weak. It's not like linchpin sort of stuff where you have to do it. And I imagine you're probably already doing it to an extent. Okay. I just don't know how much I need to elaborate or ramble on some of these. But yeah, we touched on that. VG. I've only got a half hour left in this stream, and I've got other people I need to answer as well, just so you know. So I'm not sure I'll have time for yours. We do have, I'll be streaming other times, so this is the Monday stream. We've also got Wednesday and Friday. Those are forward and then backward 6 hours. So if that's more accessible, great. If not, that's what's next. Otherwise, of course, there's the next Monday stream. So, and that's just in case we don't get to you, which I have reasonable concern about getting to you. On to Sunlight. Where is your question? I'm going too far back. Oh. And now too far forward. Where was it? Hello. Love reading. Okay. Yeah, this is a Destiny Tech question. Okay. What kind of reading are we going to get here? Cards in the middle. Great. It's just easier when they're on the ends. No. But digging through isn't unusual. I'm good at this point. Okay. Speaking to sunlight. Um, there we go. Not sure how long this will last. The camera might be slow. Um, but so, oh, there it goes. Okay. Um, yeah. Didn't really have anything as far as timeline goes. We have some cards for a future partner or love interest. Um, yeah, no, they'll definitely appear in your life. Whether you recognize them, I don't know. But then we've got the one card off to the side, which is touching on the topic. Um, but yeah, not speaking to the potential partner. So, come on. Oh, there we go. And let's flip our camera around. There we go. Okay. So, highlight this. The partner, this describes them, their character, influence in their life. It'll be prevalent. And then this is sort of an aside. Aside. It's on topic. So it's on love, but yeah, well, we'll get there. So, Four of Swords, recovery and rest. Founded on Four of Cups, restless boredom. And yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, but then over here we've got Five of Pentacles. Speaking to you. Let's go over the person first. So Four of Chords. Sorry, Four of Swords, not chords. In recovery, basically. In a sense. Recovery I think would normally be associated with addiction recovery of some sort, but it's not necessarily that, though it could be. But they're recovering from something. So whether that's, a financial loss or something, like this is something they're specifically focused on. So if you were to talk with them, this will probably come up. You'll be able to identify them that way. The Four of Cups, restless boredom. Yeah, for this person, variety is the spice of life, and they're all for it. So, relatively high energy, kind of a go person. Yeah, they don't necessarily, high energy. That's probably the best way to describe them. Go, yeah. And then we've got the Five of Pentacles. And this is speaking to love, so, we've got notes here, the hardship, isolation. Doesn't seem like you'll like it, but it seems like you're going to get some alone time. Yeah. So as far as moving through that, take a step back, reflect on what's important to you, your values in a relationship, what you value in a partner, um, and really focus on it. Don't sit down, think about it at some point. Spend some time. You don't need a lot, but it does need to be serious contemplation. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about dating right now. So, and especially where this partner, I don't know that they're the next partner you have, um, or the next person you're dating. I don't know if they're next in order, but they're in their period of recovery too. So you've got time. So take it. Take it for yourself. Okay. And then after sunlight, we've got Darney. And this is the question about the person you doubt. Let me go highlight them. So this person, this wasn't phrased as a question, but what to do about this? And I mean, your initial solution was to, well, get away. Can I get away sooner rather than later? But let's see. And is this? This isn't a destiny type question. Yeah, we're okay on time. There it is. Here. Is it this one? Wait, it's the other mat. Let me switch this over. I mean, so the way I view these decks, one's usually for messages from above, so good for like general readings, angel readings. The other one I like for insight, particularly into people, the nature of things, stuff like that. Um, but you're looking for solution, not necessarily understanding. Yeah, I think Cosmodeck, we'll keep it on the Prisma side of the mat, but we're looking for solution to this. Okay, I feel like this is going to end up a two-part reading because I got one card and it's demanding to go first. So, Sleeping Ships. Excuse me. So this is a card unique to this deck. The theme here, the idea is that inspiration, progress isn't necessarily where you're looking for it. I can go read it. We've only got the one card right now, but it talks about how plants grow up, but then shrubs will start progressing to the side, so to speak. They start progressing in a different direction. But another part of this is rest. You have the sleeping. Stuff can happen and make progress even if we're not actively doing something. It's, I want to say percolating in the background, but that's a big word. Stewing in the background. It's the idea, sort of the idea of how your mind can subconsciously work on a problem, even though you're working on other things. It's that same idea, but in the context of making progress. So I'll go ahead and read it since it is unique. But that's the quick summary of that. Cosmo. Rest, inspiration, growth. We expect things only grow in an upwards trajectory, but this is not always the case. We search for inspiration expecting it to be where we once found it. While some parts of your inspiration may feel like they are withering now, new inspiration will grow in the shadows. It will plant seeds for future thoughts and future epiphanies, and you will grow and find new paths. These are the things we learn from sleeping ships. And that is the beauty of being human. We are always growing, even when we're resting. So, you'll have a better idea of what that's speaking to. But that sounds more of a personal thing as opposed to the rings and the person. So let me get ready for part two. And I'm going to keep shuffling. No, they're separate. Yeah, this is like off the map. Okay. No problem. Yeah, so Darny, as I'm dwelling on the sleeping ships, I'm sort of getting the impression that it's not something you should actively worry about. I mean, there's that other person, but that other person is going to get resolved in time. So, yeah, I don't think you need to actively concern. But the follow up, the greater details. So we've got this one. Whether it's the person or the negativity, I'm not quite sure. I'll find out as I read it. But there's this one. This is the primary one, really the first thing. Here's the secondary thing. I've got this one down here. Frankly, this would be off the mat as far as how related this is. This is almost like just a byproduct in the future, from what I can tell. But, anyways, first thing. Seven of lotuses, so this would normally be seven of cups. There's the seven chalices, some true, some false. They represent possibilities, potentials, some of which are real, some of which are fake. So we'll read up on that just in case there's more insight, because there's probably a bit more I have to say on that, but for now, flipping more cards. Here we get sacrifice. Yeah, I'll have to double check which card that corresponds to, because this is the Cosmo deck. It uses different names than a normal tarot deck, so they've been renamed. And then down here, we've got past lives. So we've actually got two related major arcana. So yeah, let me go ahead and set this down. We'll start with the seven of lotuses, because that's the important one. Searching for purpose, choices, daydreaming. You find yourself immersed in a wondrous new world. The magic that flows through the teal waters is alluring and somewhat intoxicating. This card shows up when you have been living in two worlds as a way of not choosing one. You may be feeling overwhelmed by decisions and instead have chosen to retreat into another daydream. It is healthy to fantasize having two lives, but if too much time is spent in between, you will wake up feeling not a part of either. Feel fully in it. Get caught up in the wonder of one. So. Yeah. I'm getting more a sense of searching for purpose. That's the thing to work on. But if you have a kid coming, that's going to, in a sense, nope, never mind. That doesn't. So then what are the two worlds? Is it? Your place in the family. Yeah. I'm taking too long, but there's probably more, but something to do with what your place in the family is, what your position is, its purpose there. Yeah, think on that. Because that's going to help. It almost seems like you've got too much slack, and then it's leading to, well, room enough for concerns like these. So, anyways, let me get to sacrifice. So, this would normally be the hanged man. Letting go, moving on, giving up control. Sacrifice comes up in a reading when it may be time to let something go. If sacrifice is in order, then move through troubling times with grace and strength. You need to realize that your karmic debt is lessening. Whether big or small, sacrifice can feel like you are losing a limb. Letting go of something is never an easy feat, but know that from sacrifice comes love and understanding. When we let go of one thing, we often forget that we are also giving to something else. So, I mean, that's almost seems similar to the sense I was getting from the sleeping ships as I was dwelling on it. Letting go and letting the universe handle it. Um, Not fun, but yeah, I think the silver lining um, um, is the. You need to realize that your karmic debt is lessening. So, yeah. And then past lives, which would normally be death. And again, this one was way off. So, not something to focus on, but will be relevant in the future. Expansion, spirituality, awareness. Each past life you have lived influences them. Take this spiritual lesson and let it shift you into the effervescent soul you wish to be. So, yeah. Sounds like that's going to be a hindsight lesson. So, I mean, you've got this learning experience now with this person, and basically you're letting that go. And then later on, you'll be able to see how it fits together in the big picture. But that's a ways down the road, so don't even worry about that. And it's just focus on your place in the family, figuring that out, and really owning that. That'll help. And then just acknowledging that this is something you need to let go. So, not what you want, I'm sure, but that's the answer. Um, okay, we're at 2 hours. Lavina was okay with Friday, so we'll just wait till then. And then Vigi, I'm not exactly sure which way. Yeah. Yeah. I need to be better about respecting my time, so I realize you have your question, but I don't have time now because I need to end the stream. So there's Wednesday, there's Friday, and next Monday if it's convenient. And if you want, you can comment or message me or something. If I have time, I can do it in between. But it doesn't seem urgent, so If you just want to make sure that I do answer it at some point, let me know, and I can just do it at the start of the Wednesday stream or the Friday stream. And like I said, we could also just do it in DMs or something. So, but yeah, won't be able to answer now. And just a reminder to people, and I'll highlight this, there's the new schedule. So the Mondays 1 p.m., Wednesdays 7 p.m., Fridays 7 a.m., and that's all MST. I realize most of you are not in my time zone, so adjust for that as appropriate, but that should make this more accessible to more people. Let me know if you've got any more feedback. You can hit me up on most platforms, Practical Prince, sometimes Practical Principles. And yeah, until next time, take care.